it was a tight race. Both Harris and Trump spent probably each over a dozen visits to Pennsylvania, and in Western Pennsylvania specifically. I was driving up to Erie and Johnstown and all over Pittsburgh, and it's as if Pennsylvania is the United States. It's a microcosm of America. And so I've really been able to, like an anthropologist, dig into the issues that are on people's minds. It's been incredibly rewarding hearing the sincere stories of people on the ground here who've been squeezed by inflation, parents who maybe have taken their kids out of extracurriculars like sports and arts because of the expense of gas and groceries. I spoke to a young union guy in the IBEW in Pittsburgh. First, he sounded like he was leaning towards Trump because under Trump, the economy was better. And then he heard Kamala Harris's speech on giving out housing subsidies, and that appealed to him. And he told me then finally, election day eve, that he was going to vote for her. On the other hand, I spoke to a young woman who used to vote Green Party and has green hair, and she seemed to be undecided at the time, but very upset with how the Biden administration had dealt with inflation. And she finally told me on election day eve as well that she voted for Donald Trump and almost all Republicans. And so it's been fascinating seeing these issues, the top issues on everyone's minds of inflation and immigration and the border, even though Western Pennsylvania doesn't actually have such a high immigrant population, but the town of Charleroi does. And it's been fascinating hearing the dynamics playing down there between immigrants trying to make a new life in America, largely from Haiti, and the sort of division that their arrival has caused as the town's resources are squeezed, and the town is facing a culture clash of foreigners in a new land. And ultimately we saw how it played out. Donald Trump won the election, but it wasn't an overwhelming landslide in somewhere like Pennsylvania. It was still actually pretty close.